This is The Right Crowd. I'm Amy.
And I'm Andrea.
So grab a cup of coffee.
Or a cup of tea.
Or maybe a little something on the rocks, and let's get started. So what are we talking about today, Andrea?
We are talking about The Right Crowd and who we are and why we're doing this on YouTube, no less.
Yeah, I know, right? And we have decided that we're going to be just real with you guys, so there will not be a lot of editing, so you get to see all of the everythings.
All the daisies.
So I'll start. My name is Amy. I already told you that. I live in the southern part of the United States where we have beaches. I am a realtor by trade. I am a writer and voice actor by heart. I am married, have been married for 19 years. We're working on number 20 right now. House full of dogs, lots of nieces and nephews, and I just became a great aunt. So as far as what I have published, that would be a big fat goose egg. However, I have multiple things in process and hope to have something in the editing phases by the fourth quarter. So, Audria, what about you?
So I'm Audria, or AJ, and I live in the Midwest, the deep Midwest, and I formerly from Chicago, born and raised in Chicago, and I'm also a writer. I have not yet published, so I am a pre-published author or a writer, and I am working on a cozy mystery series, which I plan to publish this first book in that series this year.
Which I am super excited about.
So am I.
I can't wait to read it. Okay, so we would normally cross paths ever, right?
That's true. We would never have met, most likely.
No. I mean, I've been to your state one time and I literally drove through it. So, and that was over 20 years ago. It was before I met my husband. So there's no way we would have met ever. So how did we meet?
We met through Stop Writing Alone, which is a group run by our friend Nicole Rivera. She has a podcast called Stop Writing Alone, and she also runs a camp. She calls it a camp. It's Happy Campers, and we met in camp, and she pulls together writers to share in a community. She's built a community, and we do critiques, we read books, we work on our writing, and talk about it, and she sets goals for us. Nicole is awesome. If you have not listened to that podcast, and she also puts videos out, do check out Stop Writing Alone. That's where Amy and I met.
And we will put a link to the Stop Writing Alone podcast and her website in the show notes. And I'm saying that to help me remember to put them in the show notes when I post the video.
They will be there.
Okay, so I will say that Audria and I met in camp, like she said, back in April of 2020. That was the first time we met. We look forward to actually meeting in real life later this year at a conference that we will talk about later. But what I wanted to say is that I think what I love about Nicole's podcast and her community is that it helps you see that you aren't alone, that you shouldn't be doing this journey alone. Mm-hmm. And for like, both of us are blessed with supported spouses. Like they support what we're doing. Some people in our group don't, either they're not married or they don't have supportive spouses, but that's what they have us for. And that's the whole point of the group, was to get people out of feeling like they were all by themselves and they didn't have anywhere to go. So that's what I love about it. And we started one-on-one with each other. Do you remember when that was?
I believe it was around, if not around December, around January of 2021, because we were doing goals. And we came together as accountability partners for not just our writing, but also some personal goals that we had in common in life. So we started doing that. And then we decided to try doing the right crowd together.
Yeah, we were discussing a book and we were like, wait a minute, what if we did this like for everybody? So like everybody could like go through this book with us, and that's what this is. So the right crowd. There are a couple of things that we will make sure to go over, and then there are a couple of things that could be hit or miss. So every 4 weeks or so, we will start a new craft book. And what I mean by that is a book that teaches a different level of writing, a different style, maybe how to better form sentences, those kinds of things. The kinds of books that writers would read in order to become better at their craft. We would not necessarily be talking about Alice in Wonderland, even though Audrey would love that, or a Michael Bosch book, even though I would love that. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about helping you as a writer become better at your craft. So besides writing, talking about books, we will also be giving you tips and tricks that we've learned or heard along the way. We are going to share with you webinars and conferences that we hear about. We'll actually have a video November, December, where we're going to discuss upcoming conferences for 2022 so that everyone you can plan for what you want to do. And a lot of those pre-pandemic were all in person. And now a lot of them, including the one that Audrey and I are going to later this year, even that one is now you have options. You can go in person or you can be virtual. So if you're one of those who you want to just stay home and still get the benefit of it, a lot of those conferences are going to give you that option.
Right.
And then we will do the occasional write-in, and then we'll do the occasional video where we're just telling you about like gifts for writers or NaNoWriMo, which is coming up in November. So what else is that? Did I cover everything, or is there anything else?
I think you covered it. You mentioned the conferences that we are going to cover and the books, and that's pretty much it. I think when we talked about putting the right crowd together, we talked about how we both had in common we wanted to improve our craft, and we did a lot of similar things to improve our crafts. We did webinars, we read books over and over again, and so forth. And practice what we were reading in the book. So that's a big part of the right crowd. And that's why we are stretching, when we do a book review, we're stretching it out over multiple episodes, because you're going to hear not just about the book, but about the exercises inside the book and our experience trying those exercises. And for those of you who are on our newsletter that we're starting, that you'll get a heads up on the books early, so you can get the book and review or do the exercises along with us. And so that's basically it. That's the right crowd.
Yay. So in the show notes, we will have links to our Facebook page, our Instagram, our website, so that you can sign up for that newsletter that Audrey had told you about. And also on our website, you'll have links to our personal pages. Not personal. I don't have a personal, like nobody cares about my personal life. That's not. That is not what I meant. I meant, like, we both referred to the fact that we do write. I refer to the fact that I do voiceover work. So we'll have links on our website for those things as well. We also want to hear from you guys. So if there's a writing craft book that you like, that you would like to see us do a series on, just let us know. And if it's something that both of us think that would be a good fit, we have no problem doing it. That's not an issue at all. I do want to point out that just so everyone can head over to Audria's podcast. Audria has a podcast. Her and her friend Hillary do. And it's called Feed Me and Tell Me I'm Pretty.
Yes,
right?
That's it.
So we'll put a link in the show notes for that as well. So check that out. And that one, however, needs to be played not around children.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need to do your disclaimer. There are cuss words.
Yes, there will be explicitives. So that would be by yourself or with your headphones on, not when you're picking up your 5-year-old from kindergarten. Not a good idea.
No.
No. So, and occasionally you'll hear dogs. I have a house full. I told you that. Sometimes they're quiet, sometimes not so much. So, anything else before we go, Audrey?
I think, oh, there is something else.
Okay.
You are a voiceover artist, and
Yes.
we are linking to your page. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Okay. So I do audiobooks and would love to get into gaming and character voices, but more of not the Bart Simpson, because I can't do that. I do that voice for my dogs. I don't know that I could do that voice as a sustained voice. However, if you're looking for a serious voice or the mom voice, like I can do those. And I really do enjoy doing audiobooks and e-learning type and narration documentaries, that kind of stuff. So yeah, check out my demos on my website, and I'd love to help anybody out.
Sorry. So that's it. We're the Right Crowd.
Go right.